Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya. Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole Namah Shivaya.
When we are having plenty of money, prosperity, name and fame, even then he's worried. So ultimately, if you think the philosophers of other countries also, Schopenhauer, other philosophers, they have also concluded that it is essential that we should realize the truth if we want the eternal happiness, the eternal bliss.
Sadhu is like a servant of God, and we have job explain the world right way and teach the right way. And any government, world government, no power have possible paying to us. Just devoted paying to us. That's why world is going on, and that is enough. This a small my word. Now you make this clothes. Enough. This is very powerful world type. Yes. Period.
Okay.
Every man, he may know or not, is ultimately realizing truth. As a river running and running, and unless it meets with the ocean, it cannot stop. So in the same way, our life is also flowing. our life is also just like a river. Unless our life meets with that reality, that ocean of reality, we cannot have the eternal happiness, eternal bliss. So I again conclude that the aim of every man is nothing but self-realization. And in our country, these ashrams are meant only for that purpose. We are living here only for the aim of the fulfillment of realizing the truth, realizing what I am, what is the ultimate reality, what I am. That is the purpose. Thank you.
Our life is the expression of our inner potentialities. We project ourselves to the extent we know of our inner status. And there is much more to life than that which we are already living. Let us consider what more there is to life and what more can be lived than that we are living in the present.
The definition of Nalanda. Nalanda is the combination of two words, Nalang and Da. Nalang means lotus flower, which is the symbol of knowledge. Da means to give. Which place gives knowledge? That is called Nalanda. Here was the main scholar where Naropa, Tilopa, Guru Padma Shambhava, Shantideva, Santi Rakshita, Arjadeva, Vashubandhu, Asanga, Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, they were the main scholar of this university. Language was here Pali sir, but subject were art education, medicine, philosophy, metaphysics, astronomy. These are the main subject of this university. Originally Nalanda was 10 kilometers long, 5 kilometers wide. 10,000 monks and 1,500 teachers were here. But now only 1 square kilometer area discovered by the archaeologist Alexander Cunningham under 1 square kilometer.
So the whole world is your form. The whole world is your body. So there's aspects of our being. One of them is the gross plane, what we consider three-dimensional reality. Then there's all the subtle realms, which are the subtle energetic bodies. And all an energetic body is, guess what, everyone, dodo heads, it's all an energetic body. It just looks stiff and jelly-like and fleshy-like from another polarity of perspective. From another polarity of perspective, if you're tiny, then it's just waves, or it's just flying around shit. If you look from another polarity of size, it's what you call the body is just like platelets and blood cells, right? So it depends on the polarity of the position of perspective that creates the current reality. The current reality you have right now is based on the polarity you have somewhere else. So the whole existence, there's no such thing ultimately as a solid body, a soft body, an energetic body. That's all just like a new age thing to help describe things. Because it's all an energetic body, whatever you perceive. So for example, if you had an infrared machine that sees infrared, it doesn't see infrared, it translates infrared spectrum of wavelength into a spectrum of wavelength that we can actually perceive. It's a translation, same as x-rays. It's a translation. When you see an x-ray, you don't see x-rays. You see the translation of those waves going through a translator, yes, a visual translator that gives it an arc of reality within the spectrum that we can see that reality, right? So if the wavelength is like this, it gives the subsequent reflective, arbitrarily chosen visual wavelength or artfully designed wavelength to match that correlation. Are you following me? That's how you see reality, right? So what is it then that you're seeing is based on a polarity, an opposite. There has to be a perspective to which to look from. And that's how you change the color of the aura. Because it's the whole world's your aura.
Can you change it again?
When from God consciousness, the consciousness evolves to unity, the finest relative, celestial, is very vivid. The self, infinite, very vivid. Both are a living reality at the same time. And then the cognition changes from the finest relative celestial to unity. And in that transference of awareness from celestial to unity is this phenomenon of manifestation cognized clearly. Finest relative, a living reality of life, along with the self which is infinite, infinite self and finest relative. On the verge of the finest relative melting into the value of the self, there is the realization of the sprouting of the manifestation from the unmanifest. How from unmanifest the manifest sprouts? How from the cause the effect comes out? So this phenomenon of creation from the unmanifest is cognized first in this value.
This is tripping me out. I think I'm just imagining it.
Well, you are just imagining it. Now, the error would be to apply any significance to this, unless it does society any good.
It doesn't.
If it doesn't, it's good to discard, good to talk about, have fun with, chat over tea. You know what I mean? But for its validity in terms of service to all beings, it's important not to get caught in those wormholes of so-called spiritual, interesting, cool shit.
Yeah.
Whereas truth is, truth and love, I mean, they seem virtuous, but aren't they the fundamental units of life that go, when they're going right, you feel, and everyone feels around you, damn good. The things go best, aren't they? It's practical to live from truth and love. No philosophy is needed. The taste of it, that's all that's needed. And the constant dipping into that understanding and that well, which brings people to live better without any type of philosophy. That's the ultimate philosophy, is that the philosophy eats itself up, gets digested by the fruits of the power of the philosophy. It dissolves the philosophy itself. It's that strong. It doesn't sustain it. It tests the philosophy. The philosophy is so powerful, it tests itself and it measures itself by its own evolution and dissolving of how it used to be. Inherent within it is its own current death and demise.
It's true of all things, though, right?
Well, if we align our philosophy with that, then
Then it becomes,
well, at least I used to think so.
The inner is blossoming. The whole, more and more of the value of life comes to be lived. And for this situation, the abuses to which we have put our system in the past, without having the knowledge of great possibility of living unboundedness and infinity, the whole mystery of creation is solved at that one point where the cognition opens itself to unity. And this is enlightenment, ultimate enlightenment.